Welcome traders to this video on a new indicator release and a significant update to a existing indicator. In this video we're going to take a look at what I have done to update the Delta Strength indicator, and basically I've added a feature which is unique and exclusive to ZoneTrader Pro to the Delta Strength, which itself was already unique and exclusive to ZoneTrader Pro. And that is the ability to go back in and reconstruct the tape from the time and sales. Basically what I am doing is I'm going back and assembling the order size back to what the order size was and not what the fill size was. So what that means is this. Here you're watching a time and sales window where you see the fill size going by. And the problem with the existing tools that are out there is if you want to filter for large lot traders, you're not going to be able to do that because the fill size is what is going to be reported, and unless there's a fill size matching your filter, then you're not going to see that as a trade go off. What ZoneTrader Pro is doing by reconstructing the tape is it is getting all of those trades that you would otherwise miss because we're looking at the order size and not the fill size. So let's take a look at this on a real chart with real numbers. To illustrate, what I've done is I put a filter value in the Delta Strength of 100, and I am reconstructing the tape. Same value of 100 and reconstructing the tape for the ZoneTrader Pro Cumulative Delta. And I've added the NinjaTrader Order Flow Cumulative Delta, which comes with the NinjaTrader volume metric bars. And again, that is set to a filter size of 100. Now, what you're seeing here in the ZoneTrader Pro indicator is lots of 100 and more going off, but what you don't see down here in the NinjaTrader Cumulative Delta is you only are picking up very small amounts of these larger orders. So for example, here was a cumulative order of 1145, but Ninja only picked up about 100. Here we had 246, Ninja picked up nothing. Here we had 709, Ninja picked up nothing. All along here where we had selling, Ninja didn't pick up anything at all. So there is a tremendous difference using the ZoneTrader Pro Cumulative Delta with a reconstructed tape than using the Cumulative Delta that comes with Ninja. Now if you put this at a 1 and you were just wanting the Cumulative Delta number without being filtered, then the Ninja product is going to give you a perfect answer also. But if what you are looking for is to filter for size, you're not going to get that. Now let's take a look at why this makes a difference. Today is Friday, November 2nd, and it is the day for non-farm payrolls. So the non-farm payrolls came out at 8:30, and what we see here is we see these up bars with a negative delta going into them, and we see absolutely no big buyers down here. Now this would have been a tremendous trade to take because the market is going to sell off and trade all the way down to 27.22, and when you were given the opportunity to get in, the price was 27.58, so almost a 35-point drop. And if you were using the ZoneTrader Pro tools here, it would have been very easy to see that. The settings I have for this chart is just that the filter is set to 100 with a reconstructed tape. The chart itself is a 500 tick point and figure with a box size of 2, and it is extremely important that you check tick replay. Without checking tick replay, you'll not be able to see the history of this indicator. What is also extremely important to note is over here at 9:45, basically there was another test of this high back here. And on the test of this high, we see an up bar with selling going into it. And what is also really interesting to note is as the market came down and based here around 27.45 for this 10-point move up, we noticed very weak buying down here. But up here, we notice a lot stronger selling, including your last opportunity to get in on this 30-point trade. And we again note that on this up bar here, which ended at about 27.55, we again have a negative delta strength number. So what did that look like on a ZoneTrader Pro tick chart? Well, let's take a look at this. On this chart, I've added the new indicator, the ZTP Cumulative Delta indicator. And what makes this indicator, again, unique and special is that we are filtering it for a reconstructed tape. Now, my settings for this are 150 with a reconstructed tape is the black line, a 1 for all trades, which does not need to reconstruct the tape, is the green line, and then lots of 20 or more with a reconstructed tape represents the red line. In a update that I'll have in just a couple of days, basically what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to give it a high and a low value. So if you only want to see trades that go off between 1 and 5 contracts, that will be what will in the future I will be using to represent the green line. And then the red line will be contracts between 20 contracts and 150, and then all the contracts 150 above will stay at the black line. Now, what is really interesting to note here is here was our opportunity to enter the trade in the pre-market at about 9 a.m. And what we see here, I wouldn't want to be entering the trade here at the strong trend resistance zone, although it again is interesting that it came up, tagged it to the tick, and then sold off to the intermediate support zone. And what I'd like to note here is that this is a very special pattern that I've just recently discovered. And that pattern is when we have a strong trend, normally we would see a reaction at the minor support zone here. And when we don't, and the market trades down to the intermediate zone or lower, that creates an extremely high percentage trade here at the next intermediate zone, which is exactly what we saw. And what is just super interesting to note is look at the slope of the line for these traders right here. Even going into the strong trend resistance zone, the slope of the line was down. And then we see the big sellers coming in here on this bar. That is our first opportunity to get into this trade. What we'd also like to note here is the large amount of sellers coming in on these individual bars right here, and a lack of buyers looking to step in and take the other side and execute a market order. Our next opportunity to get into this trade is again a huge opportunity where the market trades up at this counter trend zone. And again, we notice from the ZoneTrader Pro Cumulative Delta that there was nothing but a selling divergence going into that trade, marking again just a tremendous opportunity. We also noticed going into that trade that there was a lack of high contract bidders taking this up. So this was just the retail public taking this up. Here we have the 5-range chart of the 945 trade, and again we see just solid red up here where we have the delta strength filtered value. And down here on the ZTP cumulative delta, we can see that there is just an unloading of contracts by the larger sellers. Down here, we see very small amount of buying, And one of the questions I get asked a lot is, on this chart we see that there is a significant amount of buy signals going on here. And for the most part, they are exhaustion buys that are occurring on low volume. What is happening is the stronger of the signals, which is the point of control extension, along with the exhaustion and the ZTP order flow, are the ones that are occurring up top. One of the questions I get asked a lot is, well, how do you know which signal to take? And that goes back to what the chart here looks like. Down here we had a clear buy signal. However, it wasn't supported by the cumulative delta going up, and still wasn't at the apex of the trade. So what we are looking for is, we are at resistance and we're only looking for a sell signal, which we appropriately received. And even though this was a big rotation of 7 points, you can see that the large lot traders were not participating in it. And that is why from 27.56 to just the initial move of 27.46, that's why we see that 9-point rotation down, and just a tremendous trade to have taken. Basically, what the answer to the question is we're taking everything cumulatively into account, and mainly the fact that we are in a trading pattern where we should be short. The cumulative delta is telling us this, and the stronger of the signals, the POC extensions and the exhaustion and ZTP order flow at the high, are all telling us this also. After that move down into 27.41, we again see this pattern where we have no buyers that are willing to step in and make market orders, and we are only being given strong delta sell signals. Again, on an up bar here, we have high volume preceding it and high volume in the following bar, along with a strong delta strength at 10.20. And at 10.20, we again see exactly what we expect to see, and that is an exhaustion short trade here, along with a falling cumulative delta and numerous delta strength sell signals up here, and only a single delta strength buy signal here. That trade leads into about a 26 point drop from 27.48 all the way down to 27.22. Again, here you're given another opportunity to enter at 10.25, 10.26, where you have a rising bar with a strong negative delta. At 10.20, again, we see two excellent order flow sell signals, both a POC extension on high volume and an exhaustion on high volume, again with good delta strength going into that trade. The last chart I want to look at is a historical chart, and this chart is from September 24th. And I'm using this chart because I created a previous video about trading on this day. And what I wanted to illustrate is again the power of the cumulative delta. And what we are looking at again is the line in red are the large lot buyers of 20 or more. The green line represents all trades, and the black line represents 150 contracts or more. What I'd like to point out right here is, as we traded into this counter trend trade here, as the market made a low, you can see that there was significant divergence in the large lot buyers here, and then as it came down to make this reversal trade, what we see is a very steep slope going higher. As the market then came down and traded into this exhaustion pattern down here, we again see the slope of the line significantly divergent, and then as each time it trades into the intermediate support zone, we just see a continuation of the buyers coming in to take this significantly higher. So when you have all these tools available to you that ZoneTrader Pro provides, it's going to make your trading decisions a lot easier. If you have any questions about what I've gone over today, please give me a call, and you can look for the software to be released in the next day or so. Thank you very much. Have a good day.